Hello, dear friends, and Merry Christmas. This is Kira Rudik, member of Ukrainian parliament and leader of the political party Holos. I'm talking to you from Kiev, Ukraine. Just last night, President Zelensky and President Trump met at Mar-a-Lago. Does this mean that the peace is getting closer? We will talk about it today, as well as about 20-point peace plan that was discussed. Before we start, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. Thank you. So President Zelensky, for the last couple of weeks, was working with the American delegation on this 20-point peace plan that was recently presented to Ukrainian public and journalists. We didn't see anything written. However, we have heard the same thing that everybody heard. And this plan sounds like a move forward. However, it has many ticking time bombs in it, and if it can stop the war, perhaps it should, but it will definitely be something that is not good for Ukraine. And especially if you look into all the plans, and I'm sure that you already read it in the news, it's not the points that are obvious that are dangerous, but the points that sound really nice. Like, for example, Ukraine's sovereignty will be reconfirmed. Why do we need to reconfirm it? Aside of creating a precedent that the borders of the country can be changed and then the sovereignty will be reconfirmed by everyone, including that in the same plan where we are reconfirming the sovereignty, there is a limitation on Ukraine's armed forces, up to 800,000 people. I'm not arguing with the number, but I'm arguing with the point that somebody else from outside is limiting the amount of our forces, which is again something that defines country's sovereignty, ability to define its own internal and external politics. So there are many small and big things like that, but let's concentrate on what is obvious right now and what was discussed by President Zelensky and Trump, according to them. The things that we do not have an agreement on. The first one is obviously a territorial question. Ukraine is not giving up on Donbas region. There are many ideas, for example, to have a demilitarized zone or to have free economic zone. However, again, how it would work, we cannot understand, and work with me on the practical side of things. At the territory that Russia wants, or in the United States, perhaps ready to discuss this, we have 300,000 people living. So at which point are we telling them that they now live in demilitarized zone and now they are protected by the international core, or what's happening, and why should these people suffer because they happen to live closer to Russia than the other people? I do not see any good reason to do that. And again, Russia says that they can take it by force. We see that they cannot, and it would take them years and years and years to conquer those territories and lose again hundreds of thousands of their soldiers. So this is number one. The territory question is not really concluded. Number two, security guarantees. It was always the most important and the biggest question. And right now in this deal, it's written just with one line. There would be security guarantees. I'm sorry, this is not enough for Ukrainian people to have it. We already had the Budapest Memorandum, so I really hope that there is a bigger document behind it and there is a bigger, wider and confirmed agreement on how Ukraine will be protected. Third point that is, from what we know, not concluded is security of Zaporizhzhia nuclear station. So Zaporizhzhia nuclear station is controlled by Russia right now, is the largest nuclear station in Europe, and it poses a huge threat if it's not maintained properly to everyone. But it also is a huge producer of the energy that we are lacking right now. And so the question was perhaps to figure out how to first protect it, so that we would know we will not have another Chernobyl. And second question was how to divide or how to use the energy that the station produces. We didn't hear that there is a solution to that just yet. So while all of this happening, and they have shaken hands and made very good pictures, the biggest question is that here on the ground in Ukraine, situation only became worse. We were under, yet again, one of the worst attacks last week in Kiev. And so for the last couple of days, the situation has been very bad. So we had electricity maybe for 2-3 hours a day. Half of Kiev didn't have heating and running water. Right now, situation is a little bit better, but still it's incredibly hard. And we do not see Russia doing any steps forward to show that they are ready for peace. And President Trump already said that Russia said that they are not agreeing to ceasefire at any point. So then if you cannot get them agree to a ceasefire, can you have them agree to a peace deal or any sort of deal? That is the biggest question. Everybody's dancing around it, and everybody hopes that if Europe, United States, Ukraine would have a total agreement between themselves, then it will be easier to pressure Russia. I think you should have a very good plan on how to pressure Russia before even hoping that you can agree on something with them. And I think at some point we will get to the point where the only way moving forward will be a peace through strength promised by President Trump. But unfortunately, right now, this illusion that you can agree with Russia, that you can find a way with Russia is still there. And it is not really productive. And the situation here on the ground is not getting better because of that. So I'm very afraid that that's yet another illusion that Ukrainian people do not believe. And getting more and more disappointed in everyone who is involved in this negotiation process. So we will see what will happen next. Because of Christmas and New Year, so there will be more videos coming on this week. And at the end, let me share a personal thing with you. Look, we are having such a nice Christmas tree running from a battery. To have lights on. I just hope that you had a really peaceful Christmas and will have a peaceful New Year for you and your families. I really appreciate your good comments and support of this channel. It means a lot, not only for me, but for many people whom I can tell that the world still remembers about us, still supports us, and that we understand that we are fighting for the good thing. At the end, we all want to live and love and have our families happy and healthy. And we just hope that at some point it will be a reality for Ukraine as well. Thank you so much and happy holidays.